Well, we're at the point in January where a lot of people are starting to just feel a little bit down. So, okay, I got you guys. The holidays are over, the days are short, energy is just a little bit low. And all of this can take a toll on relationships. So earlier, I spoke with Dr. Viviana to get her advice on how to tackle these January blues. Take a look. Hello, Dr. Viviana. Okay, I want to ask about the blues in January because one thing I have is a birthday in January, and
Oh
I
my
often
gosh.
go through the blues, but I want to know, why do we get them and some thoughts of getting out of them in time for my birthday.
Yes, so that is such an interesting point. I've talked to so many January babies. I used to think I got the shaft as a December 30th baby, but
Ooh,
January babies, you've got it even worse
it's
because people
terrible.
are coming down from this go, 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 party, 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 positivity, and really looking forward to the end of the year and the new year beginning. And so in January, we start to psychologically come down from putting all of our marathon energy into the end of the year. And even the beginning of the year can also start to be marked by self assessment. Of course, we love to be able to say, hey, we're killing it. But for a lot of us, we might struggle with, but did we really?
Yeah, I think sometimes, most days I feel like that as well. Let me ask you this: how can this impact our relationships during January?
Mhm. Being in touch and in tune with our emotional selves, our psychological selves, our finances, our spirituality, all of that can again put us in a place of this self assessment. And sometimes we can be really hard on ourselves and on our partnerships. The way that we can combat doing that is by being able to say, you know what, there's going to be good with the bad. There's going to be growth from our mistakes. Hopefully, you are growing from our errors and our mistakes. And so making sure that in your partnership, it's not all gloom and doom. If anything, come up with some solutions together, resolve those conflicts that don't need to follow you into the new year.
I like that, putting some closure onto that for the new year. Let me ask you this. Let's say, turn to the positive. Let's say you're single. I have a lot of single viewers out there. What can they do this month that might help them in any way that seems a positive for them?
Be very intentional with your time, your energy, and your dating. So, this is an opportunity for you to put out into the world, not just with your thoughts, but with your actions, what it is that you're really looking for in your love life. This is a chance for you to say, do I really want something that turns into something longer, or do I just want a really fun companion to show me a different way of life? Be very serious, be very, I guess, very clear and accurate with what you're putting out there. So hopefully you'll get it back.
That's great. I love that manifestation, all of that. If you're partnered up, what should you focus on for regulating the mood?
Yeah. So I talk a lot about this with my premarital clients. And if they're interested in anything having to do with premarital counseling, you can go to vividrelationships.com. And what I tend to tell people is the type of forecasting, the type of outlook that you have really impacts your partner and your partnership. So if you find that your mood is all over the place, or maybe even steadily very low or steadily very high, you want to make sure that that's working for your partnership, working for your partner, because a lot of times we just know who we are and we're kind of okay with that and we're very adaptable based off of our own moods. Like, this is what I'm going to do today based off of my mood. Well, when you're in a partnership or when you have family members, or even when you have relationships like housemates, this
Mm,
is something that can impact them. You want to make sure that you're at least on a daily basis, maybe just once a day, once every morning. Of course, intentions are very important. So saying you're going to have the best day, but if I don't, how am I going to handle that? What am
mm.
I going to do to make sure that I am addressing and responsible for my own mood, not really placing any of that responsibility on someone else?
Yeah, that's emotional maturity. I love that. And I think that's important to remind people to do. I totally love that. So, single or partnered, is there something we can do for a little reset? Because this always is like the resolution time. What do you think about that?
Yes. So rest is a great way to reset. There can be so much clarity and there can be so much learned from just taking some really intentional white space in your calendar and appropriately resting. For a lot of people, they may not even know what that looks like, or they might overinflate it into thinking, well, rest means I only do that when I'm sick, or I only do that when I'm on vacation, and it has to be for longer than 3 days. No, you can do a little rest ritual at home on your own where you maybe put out 2 to 3 hours of intentional horizontal time where you're not sleeping and you're not scrolling. Maybe you're meditating. Maybe you're listening to music. Maybe you're listening to a really uplifting podcast. But this is an opportunity for you to rest your brain, rest your mind in whatever way feels best for you. I personally am going to start something called seed yoga, where it's a relaxation slash stretching ritual, and I'm all about it. I'm really excited, and I'll have to report back to you.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear. I do hot yoga, but it's like lukewarm, you know.
Okay, I can't do the hot one. You're brave.
It's lukewarm. It's lukewarm. Well, thank you so much, Doc, for all these January resets. For all my Capricorn babies, I'm with you. I'm walking that road with you. Happy birthday, Doc, and we will see you next time.
Happy early birthday to you.
If you want to continue the conversation with Dr. Viviana, follow her on Instagram. Just look up her handle at Dr. Viviana. We'd also love to ask her your relationship questions. So you know what? Send us your questions our way via email to mycoco@9news.com.